Salute discipuli. Today's lesson is the first lesson from chapter 12 in Latin for the New Millennium, and it's on the first and second person personal. So since this is a new part of speech that we're tackling, let me just set the parameters for you. A pronoun is a part of speech. And pronouns take the place of nouns, okay? So instead of saying, I go to the car, I get into the car then goes away. You can say, I go to the car, I get in it, it, drives me away. The personal pronouns, that person part of personal pronouns refers to first, second, or third person. So in today's lesson, we're going to learn the first and second person personal pronouns. The next lesson in chapter 12 will be the third person pronoun, okay? So what do I mean by first person pronoun? Well, the first person singular pronoun is obviously I, or as it declines in English, me. Pronouns do decline a little bit in English. The difference between I and me, the difference between we and us, and so on and so forth. The first person plural pronoun is we/us. In English, the second person singular and the second person plural pronoun are the same, you, right? You can differentiate between the two if you're from a certain region of the U.S. By calling the second person plural y'all. I'm fond of y'all, as a matter of fact, so you might hear me slip into a y'all or two to differentiate that second person plural from the second person singular personal pronoun. Now, personal pronouns, because they can take the place of nouns, have case, number, and gender just like nouns. And just like nouns, they can function a certain way in the sentence, right? So you have to look at pronouns like nouns, right? They're going to be in a certain case because they are performing a certain function in the sentence, okay? So if you have a personal pronoun in the dative, it's because it's going to be the indirect object, okay? Before we go into that too much, let's just go ahead and look at what the personal pronouns are. Like I said, today we're only doing first person singular and plural and second person singular and plural. We'll do third person tomorrow. So the first person singular in the nominative is ego, mei, mihi, may. Okay, so ego is I, mei is of me, mihi is to or for me, may is both the accusative and the ablative, so me and by, with, and from me, okay? The first person plural, nos. There are two forms of the genitive. There's nostrum and nostri. So you do have to memorize both nostrum and nostri as genitive forms of, we or us. Nobis, nos, nobis. Okay, so nos we, nostrum nostri of us, nobis to or for us, nos us, and nobis by, with, or from us. Second person singular, tu, tui, tibi, te. So you, tui of you, tibi to or for you, te you, te by, with, or from you. And then second person plural, vos, and then the genitive of the second person plural is westrum or westry, and I know it has that little vowel change. You just have to memorize that, okay? So vos, westrum, westry, wobis, wos, wobis, okay? So you, of you, to or for you, you, by, with, or from you, okay? Once you have these forms memorized, then you can look at how they're going to function in the sentence. Now, before we get into that, I just want to show you one quick thing. When a personal pronoun is used with the preposition cum is attached to the end of the word, okay? So you would expect to see this cum me, right, with me, but instead the cum becomes a little ending, becomes a little enclitic, now that you know what enclitics are, on the end of it. So instead of cum me, it's going to be me cum, with me. Tecum, with you, nobiscum, with us, and wobiscum, with you, okay? I have a couple of sentences here just to get you used to translating these. Now, again, I noticed this the last time you guys took notes on this. If I didn't write the translation out, you didn't write it out, but that's silly. You're listening to these videos too, so as I go through these translations, you should be writing them down, okay? So our first sentence, agricola bonus dona mihi dabat. The good farmer was giving a gift, mihi, dative singular, to me, okay, indirect object. The second sentence, puelai dicunt, nos casas noas edificare debere, okay? So the girls say, Now, say is one of those head verbs that tends to set up indirect statement, right? So the girls say that, subject of indirect statement, nos. Remember that the subject of indirect statement is in the accusative, which is why we have nos here. This is the first person plural pronoun. So the girls say that we ought to build new houses. Okay? Our next sentence, puer fortis in silva mecum ambulat. The brave boy was walking in the woods, in the forest, mecum, with me. Okay? And then our last sentence, tu dona puellis parvis dari potes. Now, here's the thing about the nominative of these pronouns. You don't really need them, right? Because you're going to know that the subject of potes is you because the verb itself is second person singular. Often if the author decides to put the nominative of the personal pronoun in the sentence, it's for emphasis. You are able to give gifts to the little girls, okay? And again, for some reason we want to emphasize the you part of it, so we articulate it. You don't need to have the nominative of these pronouns, but you can have the nominative, and especially if it's going to add some kind of special emphasis to the sentence. Okay, take good notes. I'll check them tomorrow in class, and I hope you have a lovely evening. Walete.